Hello and welcome back to Hollowponds Solo Sagas, where we will be playing Machine Gods of the Noxian Expanse. I'm in a slightly different location at the moment. We have come back to Sydney, so I'm in Sydney. We have no home to speak of. So at the moment I'm in an Airbnb, trying to get this to work, as you can see. So we are taking all of the strengths of solo role-playing, which is you can do it where you want, when you want, how you want, and we're taking advantage of that by living out of a suitcase and getting the game to work. And so it was a little bit of time ago when I played the last one, and so I'm going to have to try and remember what's going on, and it's a little bit different. It feels a bit different. It feels a bit weird, to be honest, but I believe that's called jet lag. So we left Mavian. Mavian had gone to the town, which I've got down here as Foghaven, and we encountered the king, who was a popular voted-in leader who had become oppressive and was trying to declare themselves a king. And Mavian, so Marvin has been taken by the king and the king's people, and is being held ransom, and Mavian is at the moment, remembering rightly, on a small raft or boat which is sailing across to this other, because when we did the map there was the twin, we randomly generated twin settlements in an expanse of water. This being Foghaven, we came up this way, this being Foghaven, and Mavian woke up and was attacked by the natives. I think he killed 2 of them, and then was overcome by them, and was then came around on a raft in this section here, being told that if he wanted the android returned, not even being sure if the android will be returned, because of course it is rare technology and it's be worth money, and being told that if he wanted the android to be returned, then needed to go to the other settlement, and the job was attack, or it says attack Foghaven, but I don't think Foghaven is the name of the other one. We haven't generated the name of the other one. Is to attack the other town to get a single person. There's a person who they want. They're being accused, task type was to kill a person. They're being accused of being raiders, and this person is the leader, we'll say it now, it's the leader of the other town. So Mavian may not have been given the person's name or even a description, just told go kill the leader of the town, and we can start doing a random generation of what that town is, which I don't think we did. Let's find out settlement from these books. So this is of course Alex T's Blackoath Entertainment. Alex T. Alex, you'd be quite interested to know this book is one of the only books that I've moved across from the physical books. This book has gone to Belgium and now it's come back to Australia again. Yeah, sorry, there'll be a weird cut there because I was looking for the settlement rules, and then this has been a weird. It's been a good year. Like, there's been some really brilliant stuff that's happened this year. Brilliant stuff. This channel's picked up massively. I had Cyberpunk Red single player mode published. That was all brilliant. Unbelievable stuff happened. But also it's been weird and sort of atrocious. So this Airbnb is nothing special, because we spent all the money going to Ghent, and then because my youngest basically thought that they were going to be okay, but they're not, so we had to come back, which is fine because they come first. That's just how it works, just how it rolls, isn't it? And we spent a fortune coming back again. It's not great. The door just blew open. It's a bit windy today because it's hot, and the door just blew open. Anyway, what do? We're looking for somewhere to rent at the moment. We're looking for somewhere to rent. So, settlement. Let's find out the name of the settlement that we're going to. 2d10. We'll go, the first part is the yellow d10, and the next part is the darker one. So we have 87 is Vault Ward. Okay, all right. Vault Ward. So what we are going to say, just by that alone, Vault Ward, what we're going to say is that Vault Ward has some electricity generation. So what would it be? It wouldn't be, they could have wind turbines because it is flat, so that means, because it's the water, so that means wind will blow across the water. But they could also have some, there used to be, I don't know if it ever took off. I'll see if Editing Pete can find it, if I can get the desktop up and running and be able to edit. I haven't even had a shave in days. The trim rather. And so there used to be this hydro, which was waves. As waves, the electricity generation thing basically is generated from waves going up and down. Like rows of these things will generate electricity. But anyway, a Vault Ward, which is the name of the other settlement, has technology. Oh, maybe we can do a story where Mavian fixes something, because Mavian's got, if you can, and wind turbines and wave turbines. Maybe they are. Let me just look them up. I mean, the one thing is, it does have Wi-Fi here, because the last 3 weeks in Ghent we haven't had Wi-Fi. I know. You wouldn't think someone would be able to live that way, would you? Yes, they're called, it's wave power. I think they are called wave turbines. Because I looked up wave power and wave turbines. There is wave turbines are used in Australia somewhere as well. Okay, so I will be able to find some pictures. So this settlement has on their side a huge expanse, but it's all fenced in. Let's take notes as I speak. So Vault Ward has lots of power generation, but it's well guarded and fenced in. But the fences would actually stop the waves, so maybe they've done some clever fencing. And the king wants it. So maybe the king's people are the raiders. All right, so we can do the rest of the stuff about the settlement, about like how to, let's do the rest now. So, okay, so let's do the rest now. So how is this settlement? Because this is important, because it will see how Mavian is treated. It's the same, no one's welcome. Because they know that these two settlement, no one is welcome, no one's welcome. Because they know that these two settlements have been at war with each other, so they don't trust each other very much. Settlement size is a 2. It's slightly bigger because I think the other one was around 100 people. Yep, this one is up to around 500, so up to 500, so it's bigger. What type of council does this one have? A 3 is it has an overlord. So this is an engineer. So it's an engineer based sort of settlement, and it's passed on between the chief engineer. So it's a sort of overlord. Main industry, well, we're going to say the main industry is power generation, which isn't on this list. That's the main work they do is power generation. And potential conflict, we have 2. Aggressive slavers doesn't really work. That's aggressive slavers again. Oh, maybe it's saying it's 5. Impending natural disaster. Ooh, okay. So I wonder what the impending natural disaster would be. I mean, we can decide what jobs they've got after we get in. NPC encounter. We might do an NPC encounter for the first bit, but let's look at the oracles, and we want to find out what could the impending disaster be. We've got an action and a theme oracle. Let's see if we can get this. So yellows is 10s, 100. So we've got help, yeah, fine. So they need help with this natural disaster. They need help with it. And why do they need help with it? 04, attach. All right. Well, attach could be to do with technology, couldn't it? There's the whole technological wiring. Maybe something's gone wrong with the wiring that they've got. Now there is, Alex T does have this theme. Let's see if a theme can help us. We have 72, I haven't blocked that. I might have, if this starts getting in the way, I'll block it. 72 memory. All right, attach memory. One more theme. 64 nature. Okay. All right. A story is developing in my noggin. 47. This is for action. Evade. Evade. What about 74? Finish. Excellent. Okay. So, this is what we're going to say that their town needs. So, because we had memory and nature, I thought memory could be is because it's important. It's something that someone knows, something that somebody, memory or learning or something like that, but they know it and it's important. Now, nature leads towards various different things, but one of the things in nature is, of course, death, the end of the cycle of life, death. And we've also got attach and finish. So maybe one of the chief engineers to do with something. We've also got memory. Maybe it's to do with something to do with processing, but they wouldn't have anything too high tech like Marvin or Tomato, the AI construct, which is at the moment sharing Marvin's storage. They wouldn't have anything like that. They would have something which would be more lower grade technology, which we could give because Merivane has technological law, so understands technology, which means that they might get an advantage over trying to fix this, whatever their problem is with this. So they do actually need help. So even though it's no one is welcome, they do need help. Now the question then is, would they know what, so we want the yes no oracle, would they know what a reclaimer was and the fact that a reclaimer understands technology? Now it's big, they do have lots of power generation and they understand technology. They have, what did I say that it was called? Vault Ward. Let's write that down again. Vault Ward. There. I'm gonna call their engineer overlord Alex T, because it just jumped into my head. Alex T, their overlord, is rolling solo. I don't know. I always forget. I need to know what your real name is, and I'll use it. Well, we'll go. I know there's Don. Alex T is the overlord. Rolling solos. send me what your real name is, and I'll use it. I'll keep it up here. I'll keep it up here, and I'll dig it out when I need it. So, alright, the question is, does Alex T, their engineer overlord, know that a reclaimer will more than likely have a good affinity with technology, and more than likely will be able to help them out? Because this all basically feeds, we need all this information. So what's happening at the moment, what's happening at the moment on screen is Merivane made the decision, this I remember, Merivane could basically either legged it and just thought, I do not need Marvin and that AI, I can just get out, because Merivane has all of their stuff on them apart from their money. That got taken. This is all I'm remembering this. And so we did that read against Merivane's greed, and Merivane's greed overcame Merivane. So Merivane is going off to Vault Ward to do the job with the intentions of trying to get Marvin back. Now, we also said that we didn't necessarily need to do the assassination. We could try and rally the other town against Foghaven and go back on a raid and go and do that. And what I was thought, it's actually whilst I was on the airplane, not being able to sleep. I had the weirdest encounter on the airplane. So we got on, so the first flight was about 6 hours and the second flight was either 14 or 16 hours. We got on, I'm going to tell the story in a segue. We got on this, so we came back, right? And so we went there in the first instance for Mandy's family. I do witter. I don't do the 1 hour, like 2 hours worth of wittering non-stop. I do gameplay, as you just saw. None of it's scripted, none of this is scripted. It's all just as the dice roll and I make it up as we go along. The only bits I cut out is if I'm thumbing through rules or I pause for a bit to think, because it's dead air and you shouldn't put dead air up. Anyway, we went there so Mandy could spend time with her family. And due to one thing or another and family dynamics or whatever, it was Ezra needed us to come back, so we organised to come back and Mandy had to explain it to her family, and I mean, they didn't deal with it perfectly. And so we were still in two minds, should we have done this, should we not have done this? First plane, fine. Second plane, get on board. There's this Irish lad who's sitting in the corner, and he's nervous because he's never flown this far before. He might have been in his 30s. He's done like short flights to Marbella and stuff, but he's never done a long haul flight before. He'd done the first one, 6 hours, and he's like, this was at Dubai. If you are so rolling solo, he would listen to this story on the podcast. I'm starting doing a weekly podcast audio for all members, be it early doors or superfan thank you. All tiers will get access to it. I think we're on episode 4 or 5. It talks about all different sorts of stuff. Anyway, I digress. And so it was saying that he's going to Sydney, Australia, to visit his brother, because his brother had come back to Ireland. He'd been living in Sydney for 5 years, not been back at all, and was feeling guilty about not seeing his mum and not seeing the family, and was feeling really guilty, and his mum kept making him feel guilty. And so he came back. He was back for 2 months, realised that he never sees anyone anyway. The weather's crap, and he doesn't like it, and so he went back to Sydney. And so the Irish lady is saying, so I'm going and visit him. I'm going to go and visit. And he's going, I didn't even book the flight. My mum booked the flight for me. So obviously it was that kind of mum. But anyway, so I sit down on the seat and I'm absolutely knackered, and I thought, look, I'm just gonna have a bit of a rest whilst I'm allowed to lay back. And so I click the thing, and the whole of my seat just goes whack straight back. I'm like, it's a bit weird. And I try and put it back up again, and it just goes whack, and it's broke. It doesn't work. So the cabin crew geezer, the head of the cabin crew, comes over and goes, don't worry, I can fix this. Pulls the seat off, pulls all these cables out, pulls all these pins out, brings it over, sticks it all back and goes, this will be fine. And he sits down, he presses the button, it goes whack, and he goes, oh okay, don't worry, I'll find you another seat. So he finds us a seat, and so Randy's thinking, oh great, we're going to get upgraded. This is awesome, this couldn't have happened better. We can go upgrading, we can get like business class or first class, it'll be great. And so he comes back and goes, I've got you another seat. And she's going, oh, where? And he goes, it's back there. But so we're at like near the front, I think we're in row 30. And it's one of the massive ones, so it goes all the way back. And so we go back about 10, 15 rows, and there's these 2 seats. And he goes, do you want 2 aisles or 2 together? So we said, can we have 2 together, please? So we're sitting these 2 together. Some bloke was stretched out on these 3 seats. He gets a bit of an arse on because he has to like sit properly. And we sit down, and I click the thing, and it goes whack straight back again. And the bloke looks at me like, are you breaking these on purpose? And he tries to fix it, and he can't fix it. So he goes, well, do you want the other aisle? And I went, yeah, all right. Well, we're like, man, we'll sit over this side. Seat goes whack again. And we're like, I'm not doing this on purpose. And so he ends up, we do it 2 more times, and we end up being right at the back of the plane, the last row. So instead of being upgraded, we were down, basically, to go any further back, we'd be hanging on to the towel fins of the plane. And then in the end, we're sitting there. But anyway, I forgot why I got a friend of the story, but so I was upright most of the time, I couldn't sleep most of the time. And so I was thinking about, what are we doing? I forgot what we're doing. I was thinking about this story. That's it. I was thinking about the ending of the season. That's it. Sorry, I distracted myself. Jet lag. Blame jet lag. I was thinking about the ending of this series, and I thought what would be great is if Merivane, because I hadn't rolled any of this stuff, if Merivane can get the people in whatever that settlement was, which we now called Vault Ward, to fight against Foghaven. We could end the series, probably this episode, but it's not going to end this episode, is it? This one, maybe next episode, with them doing a raid, and then we'll just end it. A bit like, I think, what was it called? It was like post-apocalyptic, set in America. There was like a civil war, some nuclear bombs went off. I can't remember what it was called, but I really quite enjoyed it. The hero was called Jake. And there was something like, they did a campaign to get it come back with nuts. Nuts to you was the sort of thing. And it was, do you remember what it was called? Stick it in the comments if you remember what the series was called. I really enjoyed it. Set in a small town. There was the guy who's been in a lot of, he's English, but he was acting as an American in a lot of Guy Ritchie films. He played like a CIA person who had bought the property there because he knew it was in a safe spot if there was fallout that came from different areas. It was a really good series. I really enjoyed it. I can't remember his name. But there was a scene. There was a bit that ended with a big attack on one of the town things, and I was thinking maybe I can like do that. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Not that I really should get more sleep. I've got jet lag. Anyway, so. The question is, and I've remembered where I was, even though I think I've just killed 5 minutes, and I do apologise because I'm going to have to reset in a few minutes' time. I might do that now. I'll reset. Do you remember I have to reset every 28 minutes, otherwise lip sync goes out and people get really annoyed with me because lip sync's gone out. So I'm going to reset and then we'll do the check to see if the Alex T, Overlord of Vault Ward, knows what a Reclaimer would do. And what's worse, I think, well, at some point, so I have this little Rode mic and it's got a button at the bottom which turns it on and off. I don't think that was even recording my vocals. So I'm going to have to use, so for the first half of all of that, the vocals will be rubbish because I'm going to have to use the vocals off of one of these two, off of one of the GoPros. So that's, I mean, it just gets better, doesn't it? It just gets better and better. So are we all recording? Yes, right. So hopefully I won't turn, if I put that up like that, I'll be able to see if I turn the recording off. Oh man, what? Oh, I do apologise. I'm so sorry. I'll put like something at the front to apologise for the vocals. Or maybe even recorded, I don't know. Anyway, does he know, does Alex T know? I think it is very likely or likely? Likely. It's likely that they will know what a Reclaimer does, which is 8s or above. 7. A 7 is no, they don't know. And a 5, a complication, it says a complication, a useful item, key, gear, letter is found or lost. All right, so Alex T doesn't know that a Reclaimer, but something is lost. Oh, I don't know how to make that complication work. All right, so we do not know that, so we will have scene. We'll do a scene. So we've got our balance, so we've got to do the scene. We've got Merivane coming in. We'll do the overland exploration as Merivane is going to move from, so we've got travel. So Merivane travels, we've got thunder. So it's a thundery, it's overcast. The sea is rough. Merivane needs to try and pilot the craft, which isn't really well built to be doing this with anyway, across to a Vault Ward. So let's make Merivane make a roll. We are going to say, so he might get all of that stuff might be moot and he might just get washed away. We will make it a dexterity check. Merivane has a +1 on dexterity, but he's clumsy, so it shifts up. So we would say it was average or hard, and then we'll shift up to very hard, which means that the storm stuff might affect Merivane. So very hard is a 16, I think I just read. Very hard is a 16, which means we need to roll 15s. 7 again. So Merivane is not going in the right direction. So the sea is taking Merivane over. So we basically have that Merivane is attempted to traverse from here to here. We are going to say that Merivane will go to either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we will roll what's in those areas. 5, 6. 5, 6 is against the impasse. So Merivane is being butted against this impasse here. And so without being able to move there, it's being here. So we can know what's in this area. And then we will be able to, maybe we could climb this, but it's still not going to get the job done, which means we're not going to get Marvin or Tameta back, which at the moment Merivane wants more than anything. So let's roll what's in this area here, which is a point of interest, which is a D20. Let's not use that. I need to buy some more dice as well. I'm going to do that, try and do that during the week. 3 is a settlement. There's a settlement there. That's a lot of settlements in this area. I'm not going to roll that again. I think there's too many settlements. We've got too close together. And 8, impasse. Impasse works fine because we've got this here is an impasse here, which means we've got to have an impasse across here, and we'll have an impasse going. Can you see it? Sorry. We'll have this block here is an impasse, so we can make that wall come around, and then we'll come along here as well. So this keeps going down, but we don't know what that is. So we basically, I'll write impasse as well. So we basically are sort of reaching the edge. So we could try it. So we're pushing against this edge here. This is an impasse. So we've tried to sail to here, but failed and sailed against this bit here. Now we don't know what this is. We are floating in the water. The settlement is in this area, but we're unable to actually reach the settlement because we cannot pilot this craft in the storm. So we will say that we have used up this traveling time. Basically, we're against these rocks here. So let's say, is there anything of interest against these rocks here? So there might be a pathway, there might be some caves. We can't get through, but there might be something quite interesting here. So where's our yes, no oracle? I am going to say it is unlikely that there is anything here. And unlikely is a 12 or above. An 8, no. So this wall here, there is nothing there against that impasse wall. So we can attempt with our next, so this would be our first block of time with travelling, which is travelled against that. We can attempt to move against that. Does Merivane have rations? Merivane has 2 lots of rations, so we're not going to starve. We can attempt to sail back across, which is another lot of travelling. And if not, we will roll again to see where we end up going. So Merivane is at the moment, the rain is pouring down. Let's say, shall we? No, actually, if I remember rightly, it said there's thunder, but there is no rain on that one. If I remember that right for that weather entry, there was thunder and no rain. Thunder and lightning. Thunder and lightning fill the sky, but without any rain. Hard dex check to avoid being struck by lightning, suffering 2d6 damage. Yeah, well, he's got enough to contend with me throwing lightning at him. So we're against these, we're butted against these rocks, maybe the flow of the sea. There's obviously a lot of waves in this area. So the question then is, we can see that this is an impasse, but we can't really see what's over here. We could just sail across and attempt to get here, but really we want to get into this settlement because it's the only place that we know that we're supposed to be going, and we want to do something to get Marvin back. We could try rolling against Meravane's greed again, and if they fail, then they really are starting to become, because our vice track is ticking into 2 boxes. We're basically, the need for acquisition is overcoming Merivane. But I think Merivane wants to get to that settlement. So we will do another dex check. We bumped it up, so it's still 16, which means we still need 15s. We'll use the black dice instead of the green one, because it might help us out. We're trying to sail across to that settlement. 17, yes, okay. So we are able to get towards the center of this area where all this defensive fencing is, which means we can know what is in this one and this one. So I will roll for north and then for west. We will not take settlement, which is 3s and 4s. We'll re-roll it. So north is a 5, which is an impasse again. And we've got a 13 for the west, which is a landmark. All right, so we've got an impasse at the top, then we have a landmark. We'll roll for the landmark, which is percentiles. Again, we'll use yellows, which is 67. Bell, interesting. Landmark, bell. All right, and what we've got as a descriptor, so we've got bell. Bell what? 65. Decaying bell. Maybe there's a lighthouse with the sea and everything. Maybe there's a giant lighthouse there. So we have an impasse, which is to the north. That's supposed to be a lighthouse. I drew that on the top because otherwise it looked like something else that you'd find in a school book for a young immature boy. I'm going to roll for what terrain is in that lighthouse, because it could be more water or it could be something on land, and that's both ways is quite interesting. So the previous is water. We roll a d20, we get a 17, which is desert of all things. It's a lighthouse, but the edge of the water goes there. So we have desert here. There's a lighthouse on the edge of the desert there, which is decaying. And we have the settlement here. And we have Merivane, who is approaching the settlement. We still have the lightning. So I'll put travel there, which is our second exploration block of the day. And so our final exploration block of today will be trying to get into the town. So let us generate the NPC guard, who is going to find Merivane, who's going to basically meet Merivane at this point. We could do an NPC encounter. All right, let's do an NPC encounter. We've got an NPC encounters table, a 4 Black Hand Klaus scavenger. All right, that works. Okay, so it's a scavenger boat which is coming in as Merivane approaches the docks. It's the late in the afternoon. We have what was that? 17? Did I say? No, 4 Black Hand Klaus. I think I said that right. Klaus. Klaus. I can do a pirate voice, can't I? Oh, no secrets. Maybe Klaus knows what's going on between the two. Knows about the king. Does Klaus know about the king? I think it is likely. 8s and above. No, he doesn't. Doesn't know about the king. Does Klaus know about the feud between, well, everyone knows about the feud between Alex T and the king. All right, what does Klaus know then? What is one of these secrets that Klaus knows? Where's our, there we go. What is our, let's do an action verb. An action, what is the secret that Klaus knows? 09, return. Don't know how that helps. 90, create. Klaus knows the problem. So Klaus knows Vault Ward has a problem with technology that needs to be fixed. Nice. And Klaus talks too much because most of the time scavengers alone. So we'll have, all right, so for the first time we'll actually have a bit of a scene and a bit of an interaction with Merivane. You can see, look, it's recorded. This is, whilst I was in Belgium, I was only doing short recordings because I really didn't have the energy, so at least I've got the energy now. So we'll do this interaction between Merivane and Klaus. We'll see what happens on the outcome of it, and then we will wrap for today. And I will hope with my little heart that I did actually record the first half of this and I'm not going to have awful audio. Anyway, so we'll set the scene. Lots of lightning. It's late in the afternoon. Mervain is going to make us a constitution check to see if Mervain is knackered or not. So it's got a 14, we've got a +1, 15, +1 would be a 16. A 16 would be very hard, I think, because it's a +1, so it'd still be very hard. So Mervain is basically tired but still holding it together and still looking strong as Mervain manoeuvres the little raft in the sky starting to get darker as he's moving it closer to the settlement, which is, you can imagine, it sticks out in the middle of the water. The sea is quite rough in this part, which is what they take advantage of, which is why there needed to be a lighthouse back in the day, because the seas around this area were quite rough, and the big rocks that are over on the edge of the map, which I will draw on, big rocks and sharp parts that stick out, the lighthouse needed to warn the sailors to keep them away from this part of the shore. But they've taken advantage of the way the cove in this area, the waves come in to basically harness that energy to create electricity, which they then sell on, and that sail between them and Foghaven broke down, which is why they are now at war with each other. And of course Foghaven tried raiding. So we are approaching these, it's mesh fencing, like chicken wire mesh fencing, because the water and the waves can travel through the chicken wire mesh fencing. And we are trying to find a way in, a gate in, as Mervain is desperately fighting against the sea to try and navigate the craft to somewhere that Mervain can approach to try and get their point across, because Mervain is mute, so it's very difficult. As there's a quiet sound, which does Mervain notice, intelligence 14, which Mervain fails to notice, we'll say with that roll, though that might be a success. Well, let's say, I think if it's an average, then we'll say it works. Mervain's got a +1 for intelligence, +1, rolling a 13, gives us an average, gives us between an average and a hard. Mervain turns, hand on sword, trying to, almost toppling over the boat. Oh, I won't make it because he'll definitely fail. Oh no, let's make him make a dex check, because if he fails, so that shifts up. Okay, Mervain goes into the water and starts to splutter because the armor is going to have a lot of problems swimming. We've got 13, 4. Yep. So Mervain started. So there's a sound and a spotlight comes on Mervain's little craft, and then as Mervain turns, the craft becomes unstable. Mervain losing their footing, and because they're clumsy, slips and goes into the water. Mervain clearly doesn't know how to swim, and so begins to flounder around as we would hear. Actually, it's a nice way to end, isn't it? That is a nice way to end. We would see in camera shot the water, surface of the water, as Mervain is spluttering and splashing and trying to, and the armor is obviously dragging Mervain down. And then we'll see the classic, we can hear a sort of voice going, "What you doing, lad, you stupid thing? I just wanted to talk to you. There's no need to drown yourself, you stupid thing. What you doing? You're not dressed for the sea, are you?" And then we see a very gnarly, old-looking tanned arm reach into the sea, grab the back of Mervain's collar, and Mervain is dragged out of the sea onto a deck and lays there panting as this eye-patched, big-bearded, buck-toothed bloke leans over and goes, "Are you dead then, lad, or are you still breathing? Talk to me then." And then we'll cut there. So Mervain has met Blackhand Klaus, and hopefully hopefully I'll remember next time we record, and Blackhand Klaus can talk too much and tell Mervain that there is a thing that Vault Ward needs to have fixed to be able to keep the electricity generation going, and it's starting to fail. Maybe it's their batteries or something, and it's starting to fail. And we will leave it at that. Thank you so much for sticking with me and watching, and I hope the sound in the first half was all right. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for being a subscriber. If you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I'm sure things will get better soon. Thank you so much to the Adventurers Guild for all of your support, all the way through everything. If you would like to support, you can join the Adventurers Guild. There are 2 tiers. There is the Superfan Thank You and the Early Doors. Early Doors gets access to the videos early and gets some additional videos. All of them get access to the audio podcast that goes out weekly. You can also purchase any of the books that I sell on TTRPG, or of course you are supporting just by watching this and by becoming a subscriber. We are closely approaching 4,000 subscribers. By this point, which would be the 9th of December, we might be at it, which is quite cool. I think we will do one more episode of this next week, and we will find out what happens with Merivane in the town. We might keep going, we might not. I was going to do the James Bond game next week. It all depended how this session goes, but I think this session shows there is more story to be had with Merivane and Machine Gods of the Noxian Expanse. I will see you then. Bye.